Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news.
Disneyland Paris is number 1.
Heinz sauce!
Book! Christmas now.
That was the news.
Christmas dinner now.
Book! Christmas dinner now.
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris Show. I almost forgot how I started that. Do you ever have that? Anyone who's ever done any kind of theatre must have had that moment where they're getting really engrossed in the scene and then there's a bit of a silence and they go, oh God, it's my line. Just because you're enjoying the moment, enjoying someone else so much. I was just looking at the screen thinking, oh, this is fun. It's another Disneyland Paris Show. Oh, I need to talk. Ooh, right. Sorry about that,
That was
guys.
very loud.
That was really loud. Clippity clip.
Clippity clip.
When it goes red over here, that's a bad thing. But interestingly, both of you were clipping right at the start.
Yeah,
so
I was loud.
That took you down a little bit, but that's good. But that means you're getting close to your microphones for a change. So.
Too close.
I'm always
It's
close
all
to
right.
my microphone.
We have these problems. We
I have an
fix them.
intimate
That's what
relationship with
happens.
my microphone.
Especially with this awesome technology that is all working today. Fingers crossed. Everything seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. It's all been updated. It's
All
good.
hail the
No
technician.
disclaimers. Ha.
Right, we're
how long
here
that'll
to
last.
talk about Disneyland Paris. Do you know? Now, we're getting into a very, 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 very exciting time of the year because we are thick into the middle of Halloween season. We're very close to half term when lots of people are going. Then you've got Halloween parties. And then, like 6 days after Halloween, it'll go poof. And all the Halloween decorations will turn into Christmas decorations. And then joy to the world. Christmas comes to Disneyland Paris. And there is nothing so exciting and beautiful in the land. So we're going to be talking about lots of things about that. Dunn family have just booked Christmas. They've got 5 weeks and they'll be there. This just isn't fair, you know, all these people booking. I moan every year. But before that, we have other things to talk about.
Interesting. Mark Riley's saying that I'm not being picked up. Do you know what it is, though, Mark? I think it's just that I'm down on my volume a little bit because it is plugged in. So we'll see what happens. I'm clipping now. Watch. Look, now I'm clipping. Ah! There we go.
But hold the phone.
Oh, okay.
Julie, long-time lurker, listening for the last couple of months, is going to DLP tomorrow.
Yes, Julia.
Tomorrow. So, yeah, you'll be getting loads of those. Stand on Main Street, listen to the ghosts.
Listeners, Lucy's referring to an inflatable ghost I've been holding.
Ooh.
Which, let's face it, is Disney Imagineering quality.
I take it that's why in the chat, because it was in my place when the show started, and Dougie said, "Oh damn, R.I.P."
Wits Wanderlust are live from Bay Lake Tower. How the heck is it, Wits Wanderlust?
Oh.
We stayed there for 3 nights in May, and it were good, but it wasn't the fate. We stayed at 4 hotels, and I think that was our least favourite. Would you say?
What's up with Chris?
I just pressed the music button from the animation from the animated classics show.
Oh,
By accident, thinking I was going to a menu screen. I pressed the button music, and it started going whatever it's.
Did it stop?
That bit. Yeah, I stopped it. It's all gone.
okay. Yeah, Bay Lake Tower.
I mean, this is nothing against it because I know
it was
people whose it is their favourite Disney World hotel. So I'm not saying that. It's just interesting how different people take things because we loved it. It was the first one we stayed in. We loved it. We loved it. And then we stayed in the Polynesian Saratoga Springs and Beach Club. And I think we preferred all of those, didn't we?
Yeah,
But we did love it when we first
we like
went
more theming, don't we, than just
We do.
just something that's nice. We
Yeah.
like the tiki stuff. You know.
Yeah.
We like daft things, don't we?
We do. Indeed,
Like
yeah.
inflatable ghosts. $1.49 from Lidl, as it's actually pronounced.
Wow, what a plug.
Do you want to say hello to
Who have
the
we got in
people
the
there?
chat
Yeah.
before too many people join us?
Who are they?
All aboard, please.
That was very quiet.
All aboard, please. Right, well, as usual, the Dunn family were first in chat. Well done. Bob Sangerwell's here. And we've also got Daisy's here. And Stephen says, highlight of my week. I've started listening to the classic show while training for a marathon.
Oh, I listen to...
And they keep him going.
I listen to the classic show when I'm out running as well. That's my
do
thing
you,
at the moment.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, my dear. I
know, I listen to myself. It's horrible, isn't it? But I do.
wouldn't want to listen to my own voice.
I'm incredibly self-indulgent.
No, I think that's very... what's the word? I don't know. I think you've got good self-esteem. I'm a little more... I have self-loathing. That's the problem.
Ah, okay.
Mark with a Q is in the house, as is Joanne and Jimmy and Emma and Andrew, Dougie, as mentioned earlier, and John. Plus, are we nearly there yet? Pauline's back. Magical by Sarah. David, Grabbits Gruffs, Anne, Claire, Julia. Get to the end now. Get to the end. I think that's everyone.
Let's start with this one. Have you said that? Jimmy
Let's
Clements?
start with this one's here. Jimmy, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is?
Who, what is?
It's the gang.
Oh, it's the gang, yeah.
The gang's all here. Hi,
Hey,
gang.
it's everybody.
Everybody.
Hey.
It's everybody.
All right.
Fabby stuff. What we drinking?
Oh.
Do you like me doing the housekeeping?
Moving on at a little pace.
Well, you made yourself a beverage, I'll drink it up from your tiki cup.
I'm hungover, so I'm drinking water.
Wow.
But at least you showed up, unlike that other presenter on this show who didn't show up when he was hungover.
I'm foggy, so I'm drinking Diet Coke, which is a little too late for me to be drinking Diet Coke, and I might not sleep tonight.
I was given a cup containing orange and pineapple juice.
Yes, it's a tropical cordial.
A tropical cordial.
Yeah, pineapple, orange, yeah.
Made to the perfect
lemon.
strength, I would say.
Just about. Maybe just a dash
I
too
could have
strong.
had just a little bit more.
When he was in the toilet, I said to
Lucy,
Lucy, I'm going to make him the perfect cordial, but I didn't. Are we nearly there yet? Is going to Walt Disney World in 119 days. And they would like to know, where do I get my shirts from? Everywhere. Charity shops, online. I get more and more from like... So are we.
Well, I just thought that sounds remarkably like our countdown. So I got my countdown up on the phone. Yes, that's a Dole Whip.
119 days.
Pineapple Float. And we are also going in 119 days. So Valentine's Day. Are we nearly there yet? Is it Valentine's Day you're going? That's when we're flying.
We'll see you there.
We will.
Hello to
We
Miriam,
might.
who's just joined too. Yeah, well, that's a coincidence.
Let's take some stickers with you, hadn't you?
Yeah, take a,
Hey?
Yeah, we'll give
a sticker.
we'll give you some stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
That's
oh yeah,
exciting.
but shirts. Yeah, more and more. I'm getting them like in just high street stores are doing some nice ones these days.
Well,
Be very careful, aren't you, to look for prints
Yeah.
that work for you when you fasten them up.
Oh yeah, you see, that's the thing. Sometimes if there's a repeat, sometimes on like if you button it up on the rack, sometimes the repeat is too soon. You know what I mean? And I like them to be just evenly spread. But no, I like to theme shirts for like Epcot and Animal Kingdom and stuff like that. And I do the same in Paris too.
Are we nearly there yet? Where are you staying? Sorry, all the Disneyland Paris people.
Are
I
we-
need to know this.
Are we nearly there yet? Message retracted.
Yeah.
They're gonna,
It's like,
they're gonna like,
Did I say 119 days?
Oh, yeah,
I am
and I-
not going
Yeah.
to.
Oh, no, we won't be there. No, absolutely.
Did I say did I say Walt Disney World? I meant Tokyo.
I meant Asda.
Oh, Magical by Sarah sent us a bunch of pictures of Halloween bits
snacks.
into our Instagram.
Please
private
do
chat.
follow Magical by Sarah on Instagram and YouTube. YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, YouTube.
yes.
It's just I mainly on her Instagram and watch the things on there.
Are we nearly there yet? It says got one online and you don't want to be near a naked flame in it. I've done that too. I've fallen for that, and I had an awful shirt that I was going to wear to Dinoland USA, and it was garbage material. And honestly, I think in the heat of Florida, it would have just like shrunk to my body.
But aren't
horrible.
Aren't you ready for that with flames and stuff? Having lived through the early 90s and shell suit days, like, we all know not to take those kind of clothes near flames.
I know, but it's the texture. There's certain kinds of nylon-y texture things that I just can't bear next to my skin. Staying at All-Star Music, ooh, enjoy. I like the theming there. We are at Coronado Springs the first week and Saratoga Springs the second week.
Ooh.
So we'll be around.
Springs all round.
I'm just looking at some of these snacks that Magical by Sarah sent. So there was
Should we describe them?
Yeah, there was. Well, I can hold them up to the camera, but we can describe them to the listeners. There's a Simba
Magnum.
It's a Simba Magnum because I commented like, oh yeah, it looks a bit like drool or something. I can't remember what I said, but actually, it's basically just a Magnum with some sprinkles on it. But it does look cool with the Simba chocolate there, doesn't it? And then there's.
I wonder how quickly they make them for you.
It's we were there was those themed ice creams at the Mad Hatter's cafe or whatever it's called. So she's got one of those. It's the Mad Hatter popcorn ice cream. What else we got here? We got all sorts, lots of snacks. There's a coffin. It looks it looks like it could be Nutella filled.
I'd hope so.
Sarah can confirm.
You'd be very disappointed if it wasn't.
It might be jam though. It might be jam
could be
too.
jam, yeah.
And look, these are good. There's what are these?
Are they at Victoria's or at a buffet?
Some macarons there, all different
Petit
types.
fours.
There's 5 of them.
Yeah, but that's some good pictures.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that magical
Defo Nutella filled Magical by Sarah says.
We have
at Magical by Sarah will have, I imagine, been Instagramming these. So
we've decorated our house for
'em
Halloween
out.
now. Pretty much, we've got a skeleton in the window. He's like that. I'm putting my hands up at right angles, and we had a 4-year-old with us today, and someone else's 4-year-old. Long story, and he went, "Look, he looks like he's being arrested," which we thought was quite cute. Right.
Yeah.
Should we talk Disneyland Paris then?
Lucy was just doing the Vitruvian man pose for any listeners.
No, the Vitruvian man's out, isn't it? He's there.
It's a bit of both, isn't it?
I was trying to find my Halloween music, and I don't think I've actually got it on here.
Oh,
No.
It's good as that as well, the Nightmare Before Christmas one.
need it
I
for
like
next
that
week.
one.
Right, so Disneyland Paris is number 1. Well, we all know that. But what does that mean? The TEA rankings are available. This is the Themed Entertainment Association that rank all the theme parks worldwide every year. However, due to the pandemic, they're using the 2019 numbers still, unfortunately. So even though we go, yay, let's have a look where we are, we're still the same place we were last time we talked about it. But they were using attendance numbers from 2021. So just to get it into perspective, Disneyland Park is number 1 in Europe, but it's number 14 in the world. And I was like, what? How can it be number 14? I am offended. Who's ahead of us? Well, Magic Kingdom in Florida is number 1. Anaheim is number 2, and then I think Universal Studios Florida is number 3, and then it's Animal Kingdom, and then the 2 Tokyos are both up there, and then you get Hollywood Studios and Epcot, and then you get Universal in Hollywood, and basically it's just other Disney parks and Universal basically that's above various places in the world. So we're 14 worldwide.
Where is Flamingo Land?
Well, exactly. It's off the bottom of the chart. This went up to like number 30. And
They had
it's
to
not on.
they had to add a piece of paper onto the bottom of the chart to get the fit Flamingo Land on. Oh, poor Flamingo Land.
That, like those family trees where they do like zigzag lines to indicate 24 generations.
I feel like we're punching down there.
Yeah.
We've been mean about Flamingo Land. I spent a week there as a child.
Did you?
Yeah.
You spat at your dad. I've heard this story.
I spat at my dad because I was on it. No, I think this is the first time we went, so it wasn't that week. But there was a helicopter ride, like a coin slot helicopter ride.
Oh, those ones that go up and down.
Yeah, just outside the entrance of the park, and I wanted to go on it, and he said no, and I spat at him. I must have been about 7 or something, but like. That's disgusting.
At least you know.
Really disgusting.
I didn't spit on him.
That was unforgivable.
I didn't spit on him. I just sort of spat on the ground in anger, but near him. Just feral child. Unbelievable.
Over 20 pence.
Dear.
Wow.
How far you've come.
Pleased to say our daughter's nothing like that.
Okay. So. Yeah. I still reading those rankings. So there's 13 other parks above us, but it's only Universal and
Where's Sundown? Sundown above us.
And Disney. I still think I would put Disneyland Park higher up. I haven't been to all the Universals, but it's still my favourite Magic Kingdom style. But then the Tokyo ones are meant to be amazing, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Mark said, which makes me laugh, who voted for this? But actually, as Miriam points out, it's a good question. Who voted for this? Because a lot of these things. Go on.
I
Or
don't
is it
think
just
it's
based on-
voted for. I think it is Theme Park Entertainment Association. It'll be experts who are grading it
Yeah.
on certain things. I don't think it's
Experts
a popularity
using
contest.
statistics.
Anyway,
Facts.
Walt Disney Studios Park is number 4 in Europe and 23 worldwide.
Oh.
So I think it's done quite well worldwide
4
there, to
in
be honest.
Europe.
Number 4 in Europe. You see, obviously I love everything Disney, but if this is going on 2019 rankings, which was before Avengers Campus, I'm like, well, that's not very good for
Yeah.
Europe then,
Wow.
is it?
Wow.
It's like there was nothing there
I've
in
heard good
2019.
things about F-telling and places like
Yeah,
that.
I think F-telling was above.
Mm-hmm.
Asterix was something like
I want to go to
12.
Parc d'Asterix, but
We
like,
do, yeah.
it'd be a bit of an ordeal, wouldn't it, to get there as well?
No, not if you go into Calais. You drive past
you're
it on the way
driving,
back
yeah.
to Calais.
Yeah, if you're driving,
don't you?
yeah. But even so, like once you've left Paris, the thought of like stopping there. Well, I think
Right,
you'd have to be in
go.
the mindset, wouldn't you, that you knew you were going there anyway.
Let me just stop you a second, right? And I know you do Disney holidays in general, so I get that. But you went to Walt Disney World
I feel like I've been told off.
earlier this year,
Yeah.
and you stayed in a different hotel every 2 or
Yeah,
3
we
days.
did.
You moved about all over the place, and you're telling me it's too difficult to go to Parc Asterix.
Do you know what? Why I'm thinking that is I think the last time we drove past it, I was tired, and I thought, oh, I'd like to go, but I'm tired. So I've just got that memory.
It's all uphill, isn't it? Going back from Disneyland Paris, it's all uphill all the way back to Yorkshire.
Yeah, I don't like how close. Like you can see, like a ride from the motorway as you
can.
pass Parc.
It's really close to the motorway, isn't it? It's like
You're just
right
speaking over the
there.
trees next
Yeah.
to the motorway.
Mm.
Strange.
Mm.
I've been in it on Google Maps, and sometimes
Wow.
you have like a false memory of going somewhere because you've been on Google Maps.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I did that with someone from work. We were looking at somewhere in like locally, and when we went there, like a couple of weeks later, I was saying to Lucy, "I've been here in the last couple of weeks with a woman in a car. Where was I going? Wasn't it? It was my boss was sat next to me at work, and we were looking something up. But I felt like we'd driven up that road, so I was just going up the road on Street View
Ah.
with Lisa sat next to me.
Interesting aside, as you know, at uni, I've been pitching new ideas for musicals and needed to do adaptations. And I told you because one of them was a Mary Blair musical. But the one that didn't make the cutting room floor was I was going to pitch Asterix the musical. I thought that would have been quite fun.
Has that not been done?
I don't think it's been done. I
Wow.
tried Googling it. Nothing came up immediately. Maybe if I dug a bit
Oh.
further, you might have some amateur stuff. Don't you think that would be a good musical?
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be loads of fun.
It writes
I was-
itself.
I once started writing Die Hard the musical.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, like,
Quite seriously.
quite with a
But-
serious
Yeah.
feel to it.
Yeah. Well, no, obviously not.
Oh, okay.
It's a musical. Even if it's a serious theme, you kind of have to camp it up a bit, don't you?
There'd be a song called Hippie. What is it? Hippie Hicku. Mother thingy. You know.
Hippie IA.
Oh, do you know? Oh, do you know why? Do you know why I
Yippee-ki-yay.
said that? Because there's a. Do you know why I said that?
Hippie-ki-yay.
Right, I'll
I'm
explain.
gonna say
I'll explain
now.
that. There's a comic.
Hippie shake.
There's a comic book called Scud, and I think in that he parodied that, and he said Hippie Hicku Brother Trucker.
Okay.
So I get them mixed up. It's Yippee-ki-yay, of course.
Hippie Hicku, you
There was
maniac.
some logic to that. Hippie Hicku.
Okay, we've gone off the rails again. Off the rails. Not enough rhymes with
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, I think you should just call it McLean ! Exclamation mark.
McLean.
And have Shirley MacLaine playing the part.
I'd like Act 1 to be Die Hard and Act 2 to be Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
That's what I'd like.
Die Harder.
Yeah.
Bagsy being the movement director on the fight scenes.
He won't be joining
Right.
us for the rest of his life.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman
That's literally all I can.
Potter.
Please stop this madness.
What are you doing outside of your...
Disneyland Paris has got a new
Dorm.
partnership with Heinz Sauce. Can we
Uh,
talk about,
ketchup.
Yeah,
can we
but,
talk about that now?
yes, because Mark sent us a message about this, and
Did he?
he said they missed a trick, it not being Hella Sauce, who, as you know, was featured on this show in the past, Hella Sauce. And I said
Yes.
they could at least have a food cart sponsored by Hella, but it was Daredevil themed, and they could call it Hella's Kitchen.
Yes.
Come on!
That's good. You win.
Who was Kate Blanchett in Marvel Thor?
It's this Jeopardy.
She's called Hella.
She's called Hella.
Yeah.
So it needs to go in Avengers Campus then.
I preferred mine. It was sillier.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Hella's Kitchen.
Right.
So it's got kitchen in it.
Hella's Kitchen. It could be both.
It's
Yeah,
following in the footsteps of Laughing Cow and Nutella. DLP forms a new partnership with Heinz. Menus teased for Avengers Campus include kebabs with Algerian sauce
Okay.
and chili burger sauce. No, burgers with chili burger sauce by Heinz, but they're very branded with Heinz. Now, the thing is, they couldn't just say sponsored by Heinz and then just have Heinz ketchup or
Yeah,
Heinz
just have a cup of
mayonnaise,
beans like an Alan Partridge. Oh, you never had a cup of beans, man?
So they've gone with some strange ones. But has anyone got any clue what Algerian sauce is? This was branded Heinz Algerian sauce.
I thought you were going for the Michael Jackson Algerian sauce.
What's that?
Liberian girl. It's not Disney though.
Nobody knows what Algerian sauce is. Well, it's one to try.
We're nearly there. It says, don't Heinz own Hella?
Hellman's mayo. They're making a joke.
Let me Google.
Don't
that
tease
for
me
you.
like that.
Dougie says it's a kebab sauce. Now,
Yeah.
again, I'm gonna have to say what flavour?
Roasted onions, spices, and then it was loading the page up.
Oh.
And paprika.
Oh, okay.
Sound
That's
good.
good. That's good.
Does sound good.
That's good.
Get
And
me some of that Algerian
Yeah.
sauce.
The kebab
Yeah.
looked good. The kebab looked good. So
Break me off a
thumbs up
piece
for
of that.
that.
Break me off a piece of that Algerian sauce.
there you go. So I mean, there's not much to say about that, but we have a new partner.
Expect tiny pots of vegetables soaked in ketchup.
Yeah.
Coming to a
Hi, Claire and Kelty.
cars-themed truck stop.
I
soon.
mean, look, the truth is, it's always a bit icky to see very overt branding, but it's very good for the financial health of the park when you see stuff like this. And if it is a high-quality product like Nutella or Heinz, then you think, well, this can only add to it. The thing is, you've followed the Laughing Cow journey, and sometimes it leads to some of the strangest catering decisions simply because they're kind of tethered to this one thing. Now, with Heinz, I think there's enough variation in their stock, as it were, to make it work in the favour.
57 varieties. Probably 58 if you include the Algerian sauce.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A while back, Bob introduced me to some music from the parks, and it's just like there's all kinds of different stuff from the different different areas of the parks in Walt Disney World. And one of the things that I noticed in that is there's an awful lot of tracks of just characters talking about products at vending machines. So when you buy something, there's like a voice that goes, I'm going to get you some of this, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll and then it kind of gets distributed. I'd like to see some of that in DLP. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Use your Laughing Cow and use your Heinz and your Nutella and whatever else. And
See how many characters can say
Yeah,
Nutella.
I think it'd be ace.
Do you know what's a good example of it? In Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios, it's sponsored by Baby Bell, but all the chairs are like halved Baby Bells on what would be cocktail sticks, but obviously you're meant to be shrunk to the size of the toy. And because it is the kind of thing you find in a lunchbox and the food counter is made up like a lunchbox, the fact that there's a massive Baby Bell kind of wedging the canopy open, it just looks like it's theming, but it works really well, if you know what I mean. So sometimes it can just like seamless, you know
Yes.
what I mean, sponsorship, but sometimes you've just got the name of a company just smacked.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Like, go on.
I was just going to say, Dougie Play says ketchup shortbread coming soon, I bet, lol. I held off saying that because I thought it was beneath me.
Don't
I really wanted to say it.
donuts filled with tomato sauce.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mark's just sent us
Ketchup waffles.
some aerial photographs of the new Walt Disney Studios expansion.
Breaking news, people.
It's a tweet from Beers and Parks. Beers and Parks.
Beers and Parks.
That's, at Bière with an S on the end, as in French beer. And Parks. End parks. So let me translate this because my French isn't brilliant. Some aerial photos of Disneyland Paris from Mr. Scoof. What's that?
Scoof.
And it's catastrophic carbon footprints.
Oh.
If you do not have a reason to access the park, you might as well fly over. So what we're looking at here. Oh, maybe we can go over this another time, but
Yeah, this might be good to get on the screen when we can have a look at it, because there is, you can see the shape of the lake now. You can see the foundations of Arundel.
Thank you, Mark.
Very, very exciting. It's happening, people. It's happening.
It's all kicking off.
I didn't go to the opening of Avengers. Do you think I'll go to the opening of Arundel? Do you think we'll go to the opening of Arundel?
Maybe. When is it?
Maybe.
The
Depends
24th.
when it is, doesn't it? Depends how easy it is for you
Well,
to get there.
I don't even want to guess, because you think a year and then it ends up being 2 years later. Are we still waiting for Tron? We're still waiting for Tron. Right.
Ooh, ketchup shortbread, says Dougie. Delicious.
We talked about that a few minutes ago.
Oh, sorry. Do you know?
He just
Sorry,
switches
no,
off.
he was
What he does, he
reading.
switches off and thinks about what he wants to say.
I've excused this before. I'm often reading the chat.
Yes.
So sometimes I'll go, "Hey guys, what about this?" And they'll go, "Yeah, we've just said that." And
I do that.
Because we read it as we go along.
I
don't
appear ignorant, but I'm
Try,
just been
I've got
attentive
glasses
to our dear listeners and contributors.
But do you know what? If you are going to be there Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, you can now, and you're staying on site, you can now book your festive meals. They're expensive. I'm not going to lie. They're actually cheaper than they have been in previous years, because there's no special characters or entertainment at any of the meals. However, if you book a character meal, you will get the usual characters. Like if you book auberge, you'll still get all the princesses and stuff. But I think in previous years, you've been treated to a special dinner show and stuff. So it's €150 for character dining.
Guys, did you know you can now book your Christmas dinners at the park?
Yeah. How much are they?
I just thought I just thought I'd change the subject.
Yeah. He's just done a little bit. Did you see it? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I even
good that, wasn't it?
I even pretended to be looking at the chat. I was just had my head down and I was
good,
like
that.
thinking, this is going to be great.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. Well done. Well
It's
done.
€95 for table service, and it's €80 for buffet. Buffet?
Buffet the vampire. Buffet the
Ting
vampire
that
slayer.
bell.
It
come on.
is ka-ching. Now the thing is about
it's ka-ching.
I was thinking
It's
about
also
this.
ding, not ting.
I don't think, given our family's income bracket or whatever, that there would be a situation where we would pay £80 for one of those €80 for one of those buffet meals, because there's a limit to how much you can put on your plates. And if you're not getting additional things, the only reason it's 80 and not, what is it usually, about 40 is because it's on Christmas Eve.
So where would you go to eat on that day?
I honestly just think we'd have to plan ahead, and like, we're not having a special meal
Don't
Christmas
McDonald's
Eve.
do a festive burger?
Probably.
Do
Will they open?
Do that. Do they do a turkey burger?
I don't think we would do a special festive meal. I think we would quick service it,
Bag of crisps.
or have alternative plans, to be honest, because I think that's really quite spectacular pricing. I always like to sort of compare things to West End shows. When people complain about the price of Disney tickets, I'm like, yeah, but it's still cheaper than some West End shows, and you get 12 hours in a park and you get to see all this stuff. So, and in this instance, that character dining is the price of a mid-range ticket at West End show, and I'm just not sure I could justify it no matter what time of the year it is. Of course, it's Christmas Eve, and if you're like, we're at Disney, we're with the family, we want to have a sit-down meal on that day, and we want it to be a character meal that we'll remember forever, then €150 it's going to have to be. But that's quite something. But they know the demand is there, don't they?
It's like when you go to the service station, you need more petrol. Like on the motorway, it's always more expensive because they've got a captive audience.
Bottle of water's more expensive at a petrol station, isn't it? You know, or wherever.
Yep.
Bottle of water in a posh hotel compared to bottle of water.
Or at a theatre.
I
or
once,
any of those sorts of places.
I don't know why I didn't say anything, but I once stayed in a hotel in Cleveland went over for work, and when I left, because I just thought we need to go, and they said, they gave me the bill, and I noticed there was 2 bottles of water for $8 each, 16, and the company was paying for it, but instead of going, excuse me, I didn't have any water, I just was like, all right, I just signed it. I don't know why. Like, it's only about 10 years ago. I should have stood up.
You should.
And said no.
David Wilson has just said,
$8 for a bottle of water.
take a jar of cranberry sauce and any meal can be a Christmas meal. Now, the thing is, I want to discuss this because cranberry sauce is not part of my Christmas palette. And
I don't have it, actually.
It's become a thing recently, and I think it's a bit of a divisive thing. Does it say Christmas to you,
Well, it's
cranberry
interesting.
sauce?
From work, I get a Christmas hamper every year, and we've got quite the stock of cranberry sauce now.
Oh,
because
do
We
you?
don't have it at all. I always try and find someone to give it to. It's not my thing.
I like cranberry juice.
I do as well.
It's good for cystitis.
Nice with vodka. Probably doesn't help your cystitis, though.
Yeah.
Can I just say, sorry, before you carry on with anything, I've changed my mind. Hugh,
It's perfect.
it is perfect. You have made this drink perfect. I would not put any more water in it.
Finally.
It'll never happen again.
It will. Anyway.
Very good.
Well-
Very good.
Let's
Right.
just take a pause while he drinks that.
So now what I couldn't... so if you're staying on site, you can book now. If you're staying off site, it's the usual 2 months, 60 days in advance. So put it in your diary if you want to do that. What I couldn't see, they very clearly said this was for the 24th and the 31st of December. I don't know about Christmas Day Christmas meals. I know they've had them in hotels. I know they've had some quite a shindig in the past, but I couldn't see anything about that. So whether that will be announced later on or something separate, I don't know. If I was in Disneyland Paris for Christmas Day, which a lot of people are, you know, I think I might pay that for a Christmas lunch on Christmas Day,
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
perhaps.
But hot dang, it better be good.
But not for New Year's Eve in particular. I don't think personally I would.
Don
But there you
Family
go.
says, I am
Everyone's different.
so thinking New Year's Eve at DLP.
Yeah, it's meant to be amazing. You would, if you wanted to actually do the midnight thing, though, it is a hard ticket event. That's the other thing you've got to remember is you can book like an 8 p.m. lunch. Sorry,
Dinner.
8 p.m. dinner at one of these €95 table service things, but you've already paid €109 for a hard ticket event there, and then the 95 on top, and then you spend an hour and a half in a restaurant. So that's an expensive evening right there. However, I would love to do New Year's Eve hard ticket event at Disneyland. I think if I did that, I might not do the rest of the week at Disneyland Paris because it's the busiest week of the year and it could be quite unpleasant. I think I would sit it out and just do the hard ticket event if I was there at that time of year. Any thoughts on that? Would I be wasting time in Disneyland Paris if I didn't do the parks during the day? David's done New Year's Eve at DLP and it was amazing.
Hi, Elle. She says, sorry I'm late. Also
Hi, Elle.
said hello to Kelfie and Claire earlier, but it got a bit drowned out, so say that again. Who was it? Andrew was saying homemade sausage rolls with caramelised red onion chutney.
Oh.
Now
it
caramelised
wasn't
red
that.
onion chutney.
Red onion
I am all on
chutney,
board
that's
with.
where it's at.
Well, that is good, but actually it wasn't that I was looking for. It was are we nearly there yet? It said, bung it in homemade sausage rolls, cranberry sauce.
Yeah, but I'd put chili sauce on it instead, wouldn't you?
I would go with the red onion
I've
chutney.
started, because I've got so much chili sauce to get, hot sauce to get through, I've started putting it on things like, I had mash and tuna the other day, and I just put hot sauce all over it, and I thought, this is great, actually.
Yeah.
But it goes on so much more than you
mango
think.
yet?
No, I'm saving that, but I need to eat it before the end of October.
Emma Sylvester comes up with
So it goes off.
a valid point. She says, you pay that and more in a lot of hotels in the UK for Christmas dinner,
Yeah.
so would rather pay it in DLP. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
completely agree.
But then I'm just tight. Or poor. I'm poor.
I
That's
think it's
the
like you were
problem.
saying, the Christmas Day, yeah, I'd got to consider it for Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve, for me, probably not. That it's not a bank holiday, other places are open, you should be able to go and
We
eat somewhere else.
wouldn't have a Christmas meal on Christmas Eve anyway. I mean,
No.
we've spent many Christmas Eves in the pub with you, and then we had kids, and I think we've done things during the day with the kids. Have we done it with you? We've done it. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. We might have done we might have done a couple of times.
But we've never had it's not just part of our Christmas Eve, isn't a sit down meal really. So I probably wouldn't do it then. Anyway,
I'm desperately wrapping.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Still shopping. Yeah. Right.
Wiki.
I'm out then, so I know we've got 25 minutes left ish, and I know you've got trip reports and messages, so that's all she wrote.
Well, before I go on to
Murder, she wrote.
trip reports and stuff, I just wanted to say, because you haven't, a little update on the Just Giving thing, because I gave you a rough idea last week and I wasn't quite sure, but basically the Patreon money has now gone on to our Just Giving, and I think we're at £760, I think, now. And we've got a further £90 to go onto there from our takings and stuff, which will take us up to 800.
Super chats and things like that.
£850. That's only £150 short of £1,000 that we raised from that. Most of it on that day.
So
how good is that?
Very, very.
Isn't it very good?
Very good.
Can I just say, Chris was like, "That's only £150 off being 1,000," and I was like, "Brilliant! Next year's goal.
Yeah.
And he went, "No, we should try and do that this year." He was.
I've
So
been
it's-
messaging all my friends. I
we're
managed to get a
begging
couple
again.
of people to donate.
We're begging again. But honestly, I was like, we usually get about 30 people in this chat, usually. I think we've got 43 at the moment in the live chat, and then we get about another 500 listening through the week and so on. If the people live now all gave a £5, that would take us over our thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no pressure. Well, the
Just
link isn't there
saying.
anyway, so you can't. But
Just saying. Oh, by the way, if you're doing that, we lose a lot in fees on Super Chat. So if it's for the charity thing, it's fine for us. But if it's for the charity thing, you're better just going straight to the Just Giving page. We want it all to go to the old people.
Dunn family is saying, because Darren sent us a message about what's it called? Oh, I've lost it. Dreams coming back. But we were talking about this before the show, because I said, we got this message from Darren, and you guys reckon we might have discussed it already?
I know that Illuminations was stopping for an alternate show until like the 6th of January. I knew that. Maybe we didn't know the name of the show at the time.
Yeah,
but I think
'cause
we did discuss it.
Dunn family's always here, aren't they? So I figured they would have heard that. But yeah, just to reiterate, Dreams is coming back for a
Dreams
bit.
of Christmas. I don't think it's Dream. It's
Yeah.
not Dreams, is it?
Oh no,
No,
it's
it's Disney
called
Dreams of Christmas. I think it's a different show.
Dreams
Yeah, yeah.
of
I don't-
Christmas.
I don't think, for those who don't know what we're on about, Dreams was the nighttime spectacular prior to the 25th anniversary, which will have been in 2017. So up to the end of 2016, it was a show called Dreams that people absolutely loved. And if you get your purists, they'll never accept Illuminations. They always say Dreams is better. But I don't think this is Dreams, Darren. I might be wrong.
I'm just not one of these people who knows the difference between those shows. I know they are different, but I can't go, Illuminations was better than Magical Fairy Time in 2001. Do you know, I just, it's not something that, like, I don't retain that information. But people know the names of these fireworks shows. I don't.
Do you know something we might talk about in the... I'll try and keep it Paris, and I know we've got trip reports. Something we might talk about in the Extra Magic time is the absolute debacle surrounding the Epcot nighttime spectaculars at the moment. Anyway, we will save that.
Yeah.
Right, Chris.
Right, Chris. We had a message this week from somebody called Cordelia de Green Gables. Cordelia of Green Gables. And she just emailed me, and I wanted to read this out to you, Lucy, because it was a message for you, and I haven't sent it to you. She said, "Hi, Chris. I hope all is well and that you're feeling better." Because she knew I've been poorly, you see. Probably didn't know I was hungover at the time. I finally managed to hear this week's podcast yesterday. It's difficult for me to connect to the live show, so I can't commit to the chat. But please tell Lucy that you guys have a Mexican listener.
Ah, yay! Oh,
We were talking about being
need
global last week, weren't we?
We need to get the map going, honestly.
She says, a Mexican listener, and I'm based in Switzerland, so you can legit claim that you've gone global.
Yes.
Love it.
Anyway, know that I listen and look forward to the podcast. Know that I listen and look forward to the podcast every week. Although I wish I could follow live and interact a bit more. Wishing you all a lovely weekend. Best, Gabriella.
I am on it. Honestly, we need to get one of those cork board maps and start pinning where we've got listeners. Because I know we've got Australia, we've got the US, we've got Canada. Those are, of course, English-speaking countries. But then we've got what we've got now: Mexico and Switzerland. We've got
Liberia last week.
No, it was Lebanon, wasn't it?
Oh, Lebanon. Sorry, yes, Lebanon. That's because I was talking about Liberian girl earlier.
Yeah.
It's thrown me off.
Lebanon. We've got the Netherlands.
Liberian
and
girl.
I don't know. We've got people all. We've got Ireland. We've got people all over the place.
Oz,
Wales,
Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Wakefield, Huddersfield, and further afield.
And I heard they've even got radios down south now.
Is that right?
I know. Can you
Well.
believe it? Right.
What's
Well,
this
wonders
stereotype
never-
that the South don't have things?
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah,
It
should
is
be
that
us.
I'm being ironic
Should be
because
us.
we're northern monkeys, and so to then kind of be like, oh, Have you got that down south? Have you got a big Primark down south? It's just, I'm turning the tables a bit. I'm being offensive. Continue.
Swear. Go on, swear again. Shall we do some roundups?
Yeah.
Audience trip roundup. So, I have two today, but I can't remember whose one of them is. So I'm going to start with the one that I do know whose it is. Harrison James got in touch last week, sent a long trip report, and then got in touch this week and said, "Hi Chris, I hope this email finds you well. I've plussed my trip report a bit, decided it wasn't terribly informative. I hope that's okay. So here it is. So here we go.
Do it.
Now, I can't decide whether that actually think about
now.
it, whether plussed means I still need to read the first bit or not. What do you think? Shall I read the original?
What's Lucy laughing at?
I'm just laughing because David Wilson said,
Oh, no,
I stayed at the Barnsley Holiday Inn this week. Does that count? Yes, Barnsley counts. Don't ever let anyone tell you Barnsley doesn't count. Sorry, Chris. That gave you time to find what you were reading.
No, that's good. Barnsley doesn't count. I'm joking. So, anyway, here it is. Harrison James. Sorry, my brain just disappeared then.
It is.
Harrison James trip report. 26th to the 29th of September, 2 adults. Travel.
2 adults.
There's handy headings as well. Travel. We flew with EasyJet from Gatwick to Charles de Gaulle. First flight in, last flight out. And private transfer with Paris Disney transfers. All very easy and smooth. Transfers were perfect. €65 each way for 2 of us. Took about 30 minutes to the hotel. Staying at Sequoia
Speaking
Lodge.
of which.
Staying at
Segue.
Sequoia Lodge. A lot of people staying at Sequoia Lodge at the moment. Have you noticed this?
Well, so they should. It's delightful.
In a golden forest room. Woo! Get you. First time in this hotel, usually stay at Newport Bay, and we're a little concerned after reading poor reviews. It was great. Really liked the cosy feel of it. Rooms felt a little dated, but maybe that's the point. But very well kept. Could have done with a few more plug sockets and better water pressure in the shower. Yeah, that's my experience of Sequoia Lodge as well. We really liked the private check-in and Golden Forest Lounge for breakfast. The line for the main breakfast in Hunter's Grill was crazy. It was up the stairs. We made use of the lounge for drinks and afternoon teas on our last day. It was a lovely place to chill out while we waited for our transfers. Would definitely stay there again.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with all of that. Shows. Dream and Shine Brighter, Mickey and the Magician, D-Light, Illuminations, all fantastic. The entertainment cast is amazing. I cried a bit. I cried a few times.
Yeah.
For Dream and Shine Brighter, we rocked up about 20 minutes before and took residence on one of the hub benches around one of the stages. This was great as we had a front row spot for as the characters rotated around and we had a little rest. Lol. I never know what to say when it says lol when someone's written it down.
You should
Did you go,
laugh out loud.
should go. Like that.
Dining.
And scene.
Dining. We had the half-board plan, ate at Hunter's Grill. Quite amused they serve rabbit and venison, considering the Bambi theme. Yeah, that is quite funny. Bistro Chez Remy and Manhattan. Liked all of them. We thought the food and service in Remy was good, was great, despite reading very mixed reviews. We had a bottle of wine in each at €40 a pop. Thought we got good value from the plan.
That's like in Walt Disney World, they've got a restaurant called Sebastian's that's a seafood restaurant. And you're like, that's really inappropriate.
Le
Continue.
Poisson.
He does say try us and eat us, doesn't he? What does he say? Does he say try us and
No,
eat
they're
us?
fryers and eaters, but he says it in a bad way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's in Under the Sea. You don't want to go up there.
I always thought it was a weird line. I was like, try us and eat us.
Nobody beat us, fry us, and eat us.
Oh, that's what he says.
In fricassee.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
In fricassee. Yeah.
Little booking tip. DLP has increased the booking window for on-site guests to up to 12 months out, which is great, but they don't release closing times until a month before. We like to use our half-board plan in the evening, so this made things a little bit tricky. To ensure we got to see D-Light and Illuminations, I planned a long park day with a late lunch booking at Bistro Chez Remy. This worked really well, and we grabbed an Earl sandwich, first time thanks to you guys, on the way back to Sequoia, and had a bed picnic. McDonald's looked mental, by the way.
A bed picnic. Yes, that's my type of meal.
Love a bed picnic.
Yeah.
Oh, look, just in the chat, Scottish Claire has changed her name to Scottish Claire.
That's so she can make it on the map.
I love that. Parks. I'll get it out of the way first. Big Thunder Mountain and It's a Small World were very sad losses. We knew when we booked that It's a Small World would be shut, but Big Thunder Mountain's closure was announced just a couple of weeks before we were due to travel, so we were very disappointed.
Gutted.
Yeah.
Anyway, the parks were crazy busy. Never known it so busy in September. I did my homework to ensure we avoided UK, French and Spanish school holidays, but it was packed with families. We changed the way we did the parks this time. Normally we plan a day in each and then hop about on arrival and departure day. This time we started each day in Park Disneyland and then hopped about depending on what we wanted to do and how long the queues were. It worked really well. We found it a much more laid-back way of enjoying everything. Not sure if the end of the world has changed us, but we were much less bothered about cramming everything in and enjoyed just going with the flow and taking in the fabulous details. On our arrival day, we had torrential rain, but powered on through Fantasyland riding the Teacups and Casey Jr. The cast members were only loading the enclosed carriages, which was a nice touch. Disney rain is fine, though.
Fine as in good or fine?
Yeah,
It's
you'd,
fine.
You'd
It's
rather
fine
be rained
rain.
on in Disney
Misty.
than anywhere else.
Misty
wouldn't you?
rain.
Until you get wet feet, and then that's grim.
Managed to get everything we wanted done with a few re-rides. Made use of Premier Access for Tower of Terror, Peter Pan and Crush, as well as a show reservation for Mickey and the Magician. I'll be honest, we didn't rush to get to Park Disneyland for the start of early magic time. There didn't seem to be anything extra open to cover for Big Thunder Mountain's closure, so what was open had long waits by the time we got into the parks just before 9 o'clock. We found the Studios Park to be unbearably busy at times, manic atmosphere and not very magical. We generally just hopped in to ride a few bits and get the hell out. Avengers Campus looked good, although we couldn't get too excited as we're not Marvel fans. Sorry.
Well, not everyone
Don't
is.
have to be.
Yeah.
I appreciate the area is a vast improvement on what was there before, although I was fond of the backlot for some reason. We couldn't be bothered to wait over an hour for Web Slingers, and I'm afraid Flight Force felt like a downgrade on Rock and Roller Coaster. I really wanted to love it, but I didn't. Food in the parks wasn't bad. Sorry, did you want to comment now about that? Sorry.
Agreed.
Cool. Good. Good. Food in the parks wasn't bad this time.
Hot take.
We enjoyed the pineapple whip. We shared it. Sorry, Lucy. Fish and chips at Toad Hall was pretty good for DLP counter service. Dreadful hot dog in Avengers Campus served by the most miserable cast member. I don't think she liked being stuck in the hot dog van all day.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
No. Don't get me wrong, we had a fabulous time in the parks, but had to spend a bit more to make it happen. Champagne on Main Street was a highlight. Merch. Very disappointing. Managed to purchase the Euro Disney hoodie I wanted, but generally a very poor show.
Oh.
Overall, we had a fabulous, wonderful, magical, amazing time, but we found it unbelievably busy for the time of year. Many thanks. Harrison.
Thanks.
Do you
Thanks for
know,
that, Harrison.
I'm at the point now where I have a bit of a relief when I go in a Disney shop that I think I might buy something in and there's nothing I want to buy because I'm so hooked on Disney merch. Like when we went in Disney Fashion last time and I saw there were dress shop dresses and I ummed and ahed for ages and then I tried on the dress shop dress and I didn't like it and I was like, oh, thank God for that. I don't have to spend 120 euros on this dress. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We watched a funny, I don't know what you were watching, Hugh. Was it like a TikTok or something today of that?
Yeah, it was a guy who'd been drinking and spending money.
He'd gone to Disneyland Paris and he'd got drunk.
No, I think he was in...
No, he was in Disneyland Paris because he held up the bag. It was definitely Disneyland Paris.
Oh.
But basically...
Yeah, he was buying, like, he had a couple of glasses of wine and then he was buying, like, a lanyard and pins and he was holding it up and saying, this was £80.
Because suddenly, I'm a pin collector. I didn't know I was a pin collector. I had 2 glasses of wine. Now I'm a pin collector. It cost me £80. And he was
It's funny.
bemoaning everything he'd bought. And I'm like,
I'll try
and
and tweet it if I can find it.
It was good. I feel your pain, mate.
What are we like time-wise? Have we got time for another trip report? Do you want,
It's 20
Yeah,
past.
got
do
11
you want
minutes.
to save one?
No, let's go
I
for
found
it.
out who it is. It's Crabbit Scruffs, everybody.
Crabbit Scruffs.
It's
Friend of the show.
well, it's actually Joanne, I think, but it's Joanne and Jaden. Jaden is Crabbit Scruffs. Joanne is Joanne Shields.
Yes.
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 Yes. Hi everyone, 4th and final attempt. This was sent a lot of times to me by email. Sometimes blank, sometimes with a little bit of text in. It was quite interesting, but we think we've got it all here now. Epic novel awaits. Settle down, everybody. Settle down. Get yourself comfortable. Jaden, Crabbit Scruffs, and Joanne Shields here. We went to DLP Wednesday 20th September to Wednesday the 5th of October. Delayed honeymoon. We got married last year, but due to COVID, we decided to postpone to this year to get the full experience. Very
Congratulations.
sensible. Yes, and congratulations. 8 days, 7 nights in Sequoia Lodge with half board. Flew from Glasgow to Charles de Gaulle and got the TVG from the airport to DLP. Booked the TVG tickets beforehand, £78 for 2 return trips, so £17 each way. That's decent.
It's all right, that.
Interesting. 2 Charles de Gaulle's to the parks in these trip reports. One of them by train, one of them by transfer.
Yes.
That was cheaper then? Because the other one
Sounds
was
like it,
65 each way for the private transfer. Okay, but that's for 2 people, you see. If it's 3 or 4,
it works out.
one multiplies, the other one divides, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
I shall. I booked the week before as my limited French and knowledge of TVG give yourself at least 40 minutes to get through passport control, pick up baggage, and get to the train station. Attendants have limited English and didn't really find them too helpful at all. The train was very crowded, but as it was on 8 minutes, as it was only 8 minutes, so not a big issue. The train was very crowded, but as it was on 8 minutes,
it only takes 8 minutes to get there.
Right. Okay,
I got that
it.
for Run Disney. It's really quick.
That is quick.
I was like looking for my seat and I couldn't find my seat, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, but we're here, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's that quick.
Arrived at DLP and tried to get into Disney Village, but security advised to go by bus as we had a suitcase. We waited at least 40 minutes on the bus, but saw several Cheyenne and Santa Fe buses go past, so probably just unlucky. Check-in was super smooth at Sequoia, even when I couldn't retrieve my reservation number as I couldn't log into the Wi-Fi. We were advised that we got 1 drink each night, but actually it was 4 credits, so got 4 teeny tiny hot chocolates every night. Arrived in the park just before Stars on Parade and decided against waiting in the mass crowds and went to Pirates as it was 5-minute wait, but actually it was a walk-on, and got a full boat to ourselves. Excellent. Jumped back to the hotel
full
for
boat to
6:30
yourself,
PM.
that's good.
That is good, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always someone with a big head in front of me.
Why do you make Lucy sit in front of you?
I've got a teeny little pea head. Don't I?
Yes, dear.
Sorry. I didn't mean it. I was just joking again. I just felt like it needed to be said in the moment.
It does
That's
look
all
small
right.
compared to ours on this video.
Jumped back to the hotel for 6:30 PM dinner booking via Liberty Arcade, where we ran into Magical by Sarah and Lauren.
Hey, celebs.
Strange thing always is you assume they recognise you because you've been in your living room, lol. Yeah, lol. Sorry.
That's better.
Is that all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks. Super nice lasses. Lovely to meet them. What do you do when there's a smiley face emoji?
You've got to go.
This is getting silly. Then went back out to see D-Light and the fireworks. Stood at Plaza Gardens for the D-Light show, which wasn't the best view as the trees got in the way, but managed to move forward for the fireworks to get a better view until very rude Spanish family barged their way in front and a 6-foot man started filming on his phone. But then he got a phone call and ended up standing behind Jaden and tried to use Jaden's head as a tripod to film the fireworks on his phone.
Oh my god.
Didn't last long though.
That's Disneyland Paris, people.
But that also what a great
strikes
story
a
to tell.
chord. Yeah. Can I just come back and say D-Lights, amazing. Continue.
Breakfast was always at Hunter's Grill. Had cereal and toast every morning. Jaden said scrambled eggs and fried tatties were amazing. I made sandwiches from the buffet every day for the park, put in Ziploc bags. Thanks, Lucy.
Yeah, don't credit with
Excellent
me.
for lunchtime.
I'll be
I was
back.
very critical of people doing that the
I
other week.
know.
Yeah. Makes me
Don't
uncomfortable.
credit me with that. You do it. You do you, but don't tell the staff it was me who told you to.
So dinner then, Hunter's Grill twice, downtown. I always want to call it Downton. It's just a thing now,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Downton.
Downtown twice, Chez Remy, Walt, and Lagrange at Billy Bob's. All food and cast members were fab. Waiters can only accept tips in cash, so if you do want to tip, you can't do it on a credit card. Captain America panna cotta is amazing. Chez Remy and Walt's food was just stunning, and all buffet restaurants were super tasty. There you go.
Delicious.
Delicious indeed. Snacks, Darth Vader and Stormtrooper waffles from Rocket Cafe at the back of Hyperspace Mountain. We're obviously in stock.
Yes.
Excellent. Pasta from the Stark Factory. Group biscuits from Hepcat Corner. I love Hepcat Corner. I've never actually been into it or done anything, but every time I go past there, I just love the style of it.
We
I
often
love
get cookies
the
from
back
there,
of their
don't we?
sign.
Just because it's
often
open.
it's often the only place. Like if you can't find something in the main park, Hepcat's normally got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. It's only a small place.
talking
but I
baked
mean, like,
goods.
if you're looking for like a shaped biscuit, Hepcat often has them.
Mm.
So
There you are.
that's a good safety net.
Mickey shaped sandwich from Market House Deli. churros, paprika fries, frozen margarita, draft 1664, which unfortunately was all head, Fuente de Loro, pineapple whip at Cafe Della Bruce. That's some good snackage
Obviously.
there. Good
Yeah.
snackage. Shows. Dream Big, Shine Brighter, including the show finale 4 times. Show finale is something special, so emotional seeing the dancers hug and the characters. Show finale, something special to so emotional, the dancers hug and the characters as it was the last one. Oh my word, sorry. I need to put my teeth back in. Best views are the bin outside Plaza Gardens and the bench next to the popcorn stand on the Frontierland side. They saw Disney D-Light 3 times. Best view we managed to get was just behind the Discoveryland statue orbs. Illuminations twice, again Discoveryland entrance is the best view. Nightfall with Disney Villains twice. Best view Frontierland side popcorn cart. Mickey's Halloween Celebration 3 times. Small World for the floats and in front of the castle benches for the dancing on the stages. It's Time to Shine once, very small, 1 float cavalcade. Copy of Dream Big, Shine Brighter. Only saw it from the bench next to the popcorn stand, Frontierland side.
These are good tips, actually.
Yeah, they are quite good, yeah. Saw Stitch Live. This is an hilarious show. I keep seeing the Crush one in the States on videos on TikTok, TikTok, and on Facebook, and they're really funny. It's very similar sort of thing with Crush interacting. I don't know if you didn't.
Yeah. We did do it.
Yeah.
We didn't do it last time. Actually, we
2019.
did it the time before.
Really enjoyed that.
Totally.
Mickey and the Magician. She says, "Do it. It's fantastic." Mickey Stars on Parade, Ribbons and Bows down Main Street, best view. Mickey's Fellow Magic. Wow, what an experience. Okay, next up, Avengers Campus. Guardians of the Galaxy dance off. They saw the heroic welcome. They saw Avengers unite. They saw Thor and Loki. The best thing about Avengers Campus is the wall in front of Friday. The view for all the shows was great. Watch the cast members for something happening and where they tended to group together when something was about to happen. Characters wander freely through the campus and sitting at the wall, Iron Man, Gamora, Star-Lord, Falcon, Thor and Loki walk straight past us. Could definitely spend hours sitting on the wall. We sat, me and Lucas and Ollie sat just outside Stark Factory for about 25 minutes while Laura went on Flight Force, and there was just so much going on. It was brilliant. That's why I like Avengers Campus so much. It's a hive of activity, and even when it's quiet with characters and stuff, Friday's moving about, and it's great, superb. Rides then, rides. Big Thunder Mountain, Small World was unfortunately closed. Pirates Buzz and Phantom Manor several times they went on. Storybook book ride, Cars tours, which I loved. Lol. After dinner, that was just to clarify that it was a lol.
Yeah, good actually, because some people might have forgotten.
It starts to look like you were cackling then.
Man's crazed. After dinner at Chez Remy, we walked onto the Ratatouille ride at 8:40, which was amazing. And Web Slingers was 15 minutes, so we managed to get on it before closing. What? Used Magic Hours for Crush's coaster, which I'm still traumatized. Jaden loved it. Peter Pan and Buzz, not much open in the main park for Magic Hours at all. Tried to get Web Slingers on the last day, but Crush's coaster took 40 minutes to get through, so by that time the wait for Web Slingers was an hour. Flight Force, also still traumatized. Again, Jaden loved it. Because we're older, we weren't about the rides, it was more shows and experiences. Sitting on a wall or bench in the sunshine was brilliant. Nightfall at the castle and a beautiful view of the Disney Lake.
You did a lot though to say you were more into sitting on benches. Much, kudos. Kudos.
Things that were sold out then: the Evil Burger, the Hot Takeaway 30th Anniversary Thermal Cups, the Bic Colour Change 30th Anniversary Cups, 30th Anniversary Calendar. The bags made from Castle Tarp are still available from the Storybook store.
Are they?
There you are.
What were there by the time we go?
I thought that they would have gone like that.
It was a big tarp.
It's not okay to ask people to buy me things, is it? It's what's the word?
Rude.
It's rude. It's rude.
Cheeky.
It's cheeky. It's rude. It is. And yeah, I won't. But
she basically has.
I want one.
I think Lucy would quite like something made out of tarp. So if any of you happen to be going to DLP in the next few days or weeks, head over to that Storybook store and
I think it would make me cry a bit. to be honest.
Make
In a good way.
Make her cry a bit.
In a good way. It would
What
make
if they got you something rubbish though,
cry happy
like
tears.
a purse, and you were like, I don't want the purse.
Do you
I
know
want a
what?
big bag.
Just a little. I think they do little makeup purses, and I think that would be enough for me. I need to know that I've got a bit of it in my heart, and in my house, and in my heart.
Right, we're nearly at the end of this.
Oh, LB says that she's now there next month and she'll grab me one. Would you? I mean, obviously I'll pay you the
Can
money.
we all get
back.
our orders in? What do you want, Hugh?
Oh,
Oh, can you bring me back a mango whip?
you've got to keep it cold
don't
all
do
the
them
way.
anymore.
They don't do them anymore.
Right, so here's the highlights. Got the parade at Small World and was so close to all the floats, and because the times weren't advertised that day, it was so quiet and got a kiss and away from Pooh, Rabbit and Piglet, which made me very emotional. The cast members were so helpful and friendly. Sunsets in Frontierland as well over Thunder Mountain. Tax back, very easy to do. Go to City Hall and they do everything for you. They only accept the last 3 days' receipts and need to provide passport also. It takes about 30 minutes, so make sure you leave time for it. Stamp it at the airport. There are machines. It took 2 days to go back on my card. However, staff at the airport are not friendly or helpful for this. So I ended up walking round in circles before I found a machine. I'd have put a lol there. I was at Terminal 2D and couldn't find one, then asked a car hire place who sent me to Terminal 2C, and when I came back I found one at 2D, all part of the learning experience though.
What's this?
So when if you buy stuff,
Yeah.
we're not in the EU, so you can claim the tax back on physical items, but
The sales tax.
yeah,
Can you?
VAT effectively.
Yeah.
So you go to City Hall and you take your receipts from the stuff that you bought, not food stuff, but I think they have to all be not opened as well. They need to still be sealed in things, and they probably want to see it all, but I don't know that for certain. You guys give your receipts and they will process it all for you, and they give you basically a form, I think, or another receipt or whatever. And then when you go to the airport or when you go to wherever it is that you're crossing the border, there's machines there and you put them into the machines and it does it all for you. I think you can do it when you get home as well if you want to, but I believe it takes an absolute blooming age to do it that way.
That's I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
so there you
good.
go. We didn't do that with any of our stuff when we came back because we couldn't be bothered because we're lazy
You have
British.
to be
Oh, I'm
bothered.
very
don't
lazy.
you?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm too
You
lazy
have
to
be
do
bothered.
that.
Depends how much it was coming up to. You know, if you're doing.
But it's good to know though that it's as easy as you've said there. So it's one that we'll think about next time, I think. And it's
Yeah.
good for other people who aren't as lazy as me.
David says
to
the
know you can do.
staff at Eurotunnel were very helpful with
There you are.
their tax back.
Excellent. Tips then. Watch Lucy's vlog about packing your part bag. That's the first tip. That is the first tip, is watch Lucy's vlog. Be prepared. Essential to bring with were blister plasters, normal plasters, ibuprofen gel on the feet every morning and night was a saviour of our holiday. If staying in Sequoia Lodge, bring an extension plug or multi-USB port. We've got some of those. I've got a couple of these multi-USB ports. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Lip balm. I swear by lip balm. I probably have some in my pocket right now. I had to buy some mini-shaped lip balm for €10 as my chapped lips were so sore. When we went the first time, I had a really badly chapped lips, and it just so happened that we went the same couple of days as some of Laura's friends. So they happened to have a spare one, so brought me one and met up and gave me a lip balm. Which was
Don't think I've ever had chapped lips.
I get very chapped lips.
I do sometimes.
They're drying out just thinking about it now.
I get one of the things I said is I get cold sores that can get quite angry and sore, and so I always have a little is it Zivirex?
Yeah. You're
with
like
me.
Laura. Laura's like that as well.
There's something just with your ibuprofen gel or anything like that. My top tip is put it in your mini fridge in your hotel room, because there's nothing nice if you're going to give yourself a foot massage when you get back after being up all day. If that's what you're using your ibuprofen gel for, is have it nice and cold in the fridge. It's like, ooh, it's lovely.
There you are. Umbrellas and ponchos. Check the weather every day to see if you need them. Charger banks and painkillers were also a lifesaver. Sequoia Lodge was close enough to get back to for a nap. Either get up at 7 a.m, go do breakfast, then off to Magic Hour, or do Magic Hour, then go back for breakfast. Rest was very important for our very sore feet. I think that's everything. Planning to go back in March 2024. Also, go left. Thanks all, Jaden and Joanne.
Go left. That's a top tip.
Interesting.
Thank you for that, Joanne and Harrison.
Can I just
For our
say,
reports.
like, listening to trip reports like that, I was aching to go back. I mean, we talk about this every week, and we're lucky enough to go fairly often. But just as you talk about going back to Sequoia Lodge for a nap and sitting on the wall at Avengers Campus and going to see Mickey and the Magician, and there's things that the last few trips we've done cheaply with annual passes, and they've been shorter than we used to do them. We've done like 2-3 days, and it's just making me ache to do a full 5-day on-site thing. And just I think we're due one now. Do you?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think we've done enough of these staying in budget places and going in.
Magical by Sarah has added that she thinks you have to do the tax back within 3 days of purchase. But then she says, "Don't you?" ? So check that out.
What Joanne said in the
But
thing
she
was
said
that
it's worth doing it. A friend did it at the airport, but the queue was hours.
what? Yeah. What? Sorry. What Joanne was saying was that in the park, when you go to the town hall, they'll only accept the last 3 days receipts.
Oh,
She
did say
process
that.
it. So if you're there for more days, you need to plan it out and go and do them at the right times.
Or not buy any merch for the first 2 days.
Potentially.
Sort of like, I want to
But
buy
then that's
that
good
and
because
then
you're
go
not
back for it.
you're not sticking loads of stuff in your hotel room, are you?
Yeah.
The problem is when you're there for 5 days, it's really like we were this time. It's very difficult not to buy stuff every single day.
Yeah.
It's really difficult not to do that.
A tax back vlog would be a very good. I would watch that. I wouldn't make it because I don't know how to do it yet, but I would watch that. I'm like, oh, let me see how this works. That's interesting. Earlier on, Dougie Plays asked, I mean, this is quite a while ago now when you were reading that out. Months ago. He said, what's going on next summer in terms of seasons? Would love there to be another superhero season. And everyone else answered, so I don't need to, but for the listeners, I'm going to tell you. The 30th is carrying on until September 2023, and then it goes to Halloween and Christmas seasons. So there's no new seasons until 2024. But also, this is only me guessing this. I don't think they'll do another summer of superheroes now they've got Avengers Campus open, because they don't need to, because every day is superhero day now that we've got Avengers Campus, and there's no point sort of adding things elsewhere in the parks. It wouldn't make sense. So he was saying, I'm hoping there'll be another superhero theme. I think that one's gone the way of the Star Wars celebration, i.e. it's never coming back. But we'll see. More fun things
Way of the
to come.
mango whip.
Oh, no, the mango whip might come back. You don't know.
It won't because
Right.
I like it.
Okay,
That's
guys.
how my life works.
That's been a slightly longer one today, but we're never sad. If you want even more, if you're not sick of us yet, you can get an extra 20 minutes extra magic time for Patreon members only. So Patreon members, you will have been sent the link by my beautiful friend over here to my right.
I am beautiful, that's correct.
I've sent the thank you message early by mistake in the chat, but
And I'm going to say
like, thanks, bye.
good night now, and I'll see the Patreon members in just 2 minutes. So thank you very much for joining us. I've been Lucy. This has been The Boys. Bye-bye.
And the ghost.
Laters, potatoes.